What's good, YouTube and TikTok? Ben here. Welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you another Steel Path viable build on Warframe. This is going to be a rebuild for Aksomati Prime in 2026. Let's get into this. So Aksomati Prime is definitely one of my favorite secondary weapons of all time. It's just a really good weapon, like well-rounded, generally good for both criticals and status. But jumping into my build, we've got Hornet Strike for 220% damage. You can forego this mod and use something along the lines of Pistol Acuity if you wanted to, I guess, or you could always go for something like Merciless Gunfight. I'm using Hornet Strike purely for some base damage. You'll see why when we get into the mission. Galvanized Diffusion for 110% multi-shot and on-kill plus 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds stacks up to 4 times. Galvanized Shot for 80% status chance and on-kill plus 40% direct damage per status type affecting the target for 14 seconds stacks up to 3 times. Prime Target Cracker for 110% critical damage. You can run normal Target Cracker over this, but you will drop some critical damage. We've got Pistol Pestilence for 60% Toxin and 60% status chance. Frostbite for 60% cold and 60% status chance. Scorch for 6% heat and 6% status chance. And Accelerated Isotope for 60% radiation and 40% fire rate. In the Arcane slot, we've got Secondary Innovate at rank 5. On hit, increase critical chance by 10%. Resets after 6 big critical hits. So thanks to this, you don't need a high critical multiplier because you'll literally just do crits with this mod on its own. So you're able to run like critical status mix builds, which is exactly what this is. I don't have anything in the extra slot. If you wanted to run something, you could always run something like Steady Hands, Suppress if you want Silence. So anything like that would do. Lethal Momentum is also a decent one. But yeah, let's jump into the mission. I'll show you what this thing can do. Alright, as per usual, we're here at Aksomati in the Void, and I'll quickly explain why we're here. So the Void is one of the latest areas in the game, so you're dealing with the Corrupted. And with the Corrupted, you're dealing with enemies with just health, enemies with health and shields, and enemies with high armor, giving you a more varied example of what the weapon / Warframe is going to be able to do. I do want to quickly mention as well, I do label this as a viable build. So this build will definitely get you through Steel Path. Will it get you to level cap, which is level 9,999 enemies? Probably not, but that's not what my builds are designed to do. I also want to point out, because I get comments like this all the time, I don't follow the meta for every weapon at all. In fact, I try and stay away from it as much as I can, because what's the point of having me and like 3 other YouTubers do the same build? So all of our builds are separate. My build may not work as well as others, but does it work? Yes. Let's jump in. So, as you can see, we're already in and we're already starting to melt. Thanks to Secondary Innovate, we're able to literally just get critical after critical after critical without needing to rely on something like Cascadia Flare, which, don't get me wrong, my old build for this weapon still works absolutely fine. I just thought I'd update it a bit because when I made that build at that time, I did not have Secondary Innovate, so I wanted to see if I could make a build with Innovate that would work, and it does. As you can see, it definitely works. We hit pretty high, especially when it comes to those criticals. And thanks to Innovate, as you can see, we're always landing critical hits, which is very nice. But as you can see, definitely more than viable to get you through the Steel Path. There's no question of that. Like, even against heavily armored units, this build does work. Like, as you can see. Oh, when I don't have to reload. Boom, there we go. Even against Eximus heavily armored units, you're absolutely fine. This thing does not disappoint. Like, it just works. Of course, I am primarily aiming for headshots, which you should be doing anyway, because headshots are your key to damage. But as it pertains to the damage we're dealing, it's pretty darn high. Wait, what? Oh, there it is. I wonder where the thing that went. The cool thing is as well, you're not as tied into taking out enemies in a row. Like in this case, because obviously I do use this mission mostly for when I'm doing builds. Purely because, so I do get this comment as well, why I don't use the simulacrum and just use heavily armored units. The thing is, I get why people do it, but my problem with doing that is you don't get a more realistic setting for the build. Like, sure, you can see it matches against heavily armored units fine. But the problem you run into there is, say, for example, if your build requires you to take out enemies fast, you're not getting a realistic setting for that, whereas in a mission like this you are, because it's a mission, not just the simulacrum. So it kind of can obscure your view of what a weapon can do. Goodbye. But as you can see, even against heavily armored units, this weapon just takes them out. It's not hard at all. Even against the Acolyte, it works decently. Like, is it the best weapon I've used against the Acolyte? Probably not, but will it work? But this is the thing I always try to mention as well, is that you do have multiple weapons. So just because one weapon may not be able to be good against, let's say, an Acolyte, your other weapons might be, which is precisely why you should have all 3 weapons on you all times anyway. I typically don't, because when I'm doing these kinds of builds, I use Atlas, and Atlas has Landslide Fist, which I use for Acolytes, so... But I'll show you what it does to Acolytes anyway. Again, it works decently. Like, melts shields in half a second, and then the health goes down decently quick. Boom, bye-bye. No, Aksomati and Atomos are probably my 2 most used as it pertains to my weapons.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Because ironically, I use secondary weapons more than I use anything else. I just prefer the secondaries in this game, to be honest. Like Atomos, Kufanuka, Lex Prime, especially with Incarnate form. Aksomati Prime. Weapons like Sepulchrum, which I do enjoy using. This I was about to say this Acolyte better hurry up, otherwise I'm going to complete the mission. We've got Mania. Cool. Right, there you are. So, melts through shields pretty fast, and melts through the Acolyte decently quickly. No real complaints with the way it takes out Acolytes at all. Bye-bye. Yeah, not too bad. Like I said, is it the best weapon I've used against Acolytes? No, my Landslide Fist takes them out way faster, but does it work? Yeah. Works absolutely fine. So, yeah, that's my build for Aksomati Prime in 2026. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps that YouTube algorithm. If you're watching this on TikTok, don't forget to heart. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to comment down below what you like about the build and what you don't. There's a Jade Xmas. Better take that out. There we go. If you want to support me even further on YouTube, you can do so by becoming a channel member from as little as 99p per month. Any and all funds accrued between Twitch and YouTube all go back into my content, so it really does help me out. Don't forget, I do live stream as well. Whenever I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch. My streams on YouTube, they're in the shorts feed, so they are more for mobile. If you want to see the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, feel free to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below, and it's on my channel on YouTube. And if you're watching on TikTok and want to watch me on YouTube or on Twitch, then those links are on my link tree and on my profile. I'll catch you guys in the next one.